Today on CCX News, redevelopment in Plymouth. A new medical facility breaks ground at one of the city's largest redevelopment sites. Developers are making progress on a huge redevelopment project at the former Prudential campus in Plymouth. As Kevin Miller reports, a new tenant could open as early as next year.
Just off Interstate 494 in Plymouth, there's a constant din of heavy machinery. These construction tools moved in after a sprawling office building was torn down.
So the former Prudential building was about 450,000 square feet, a very large office building. That was removed over the winter and into the spring.
With the land cleared, the first of the new tenants is getting ready to move in.
The first groundbreaking was very exciting for the city. Summit Orthopedics will be building a roughly 80,000 square foot building for their facility.
The groundbreaking was the first of many that are planned for the site.
We feel like having Summit Orthopedics on the site will be really instrumental in spurring other development into the area.
Although the paperwork hasn't been finished, a grocery store is also planning to build there.
We have been talking with Coburn's grocery store, and they are interested in the site, and they have not applied to the city for an application yet at this point. But we're working with them in the background.
It's all part of a much larger vision for the future.
The site will end up being a mixed-use development. There will be 4 apartment buildings totaling about 925 dwelling units. There will be business park, a lot of commercial, a grocer, hopefully some waterfront restaurants.
In Plymouth, Kevin Miller, CCX News.
Developers and city officials are calling the redevelopment project the Boulevard. City officials say the Summit Orthopedics building should be open in about a year. The full build out of the Prudential site could take about 5 years to complete. A story that brought feelings of anger and helplessness now hopes to deliver hope and joy. A statue of 10-year-old Barway Collins was unveiled at Becker Park over the weekend. The boy was killed nearly 10 years ago by his own father. The Crystal community helped make it happen, raising more than $20,000 to honor the boy who often played at the park near his home. Barway's mother called the statue precious, saying her son's spirit is always with us. It is Fire Prevention Week, but as Golden Valley's fire chief points out, it's been a difficult year for fire fatalities.
This year has not been a great start in Minnesota for fire fatalities. We've had over 33 fatalities in the state of Minnesota so far. I'm sure you may have recognized some of them that have been in the news. There had been the tragic one in St. Paul where multiple family members, including children, passed away. Just recently there was a fire fatality not far from us in Maple Grove. So we're hoping that our residents and our community members will take action and make sure they have working smoke alarms in their homes to help keep them safe.
Fire officials say having a working smoke alarm doubles the chances of surviving a fire. The Golden Valley Fire Department will hold open houses at each of its 3 fire stations on Saturday from 10 to noon. At Fire Station 1, through a community partnership, it will also offer free flu shots and COVID vaccinations. The ice castles are returning to Minnesota again this winter, but it won't be to Maple Grove. I explain where they're headed and why the Northwest suburban location was ruled out. Last winter, the Ice Castle sculptures crafted a winter wonderland in Maple Grove.
The projected economic impact, which fits with our mission at Experience Maple Grove, was in the several $1 million. So it was an event that we were really comfortable bringing to Maple Grove.
Unfortunately, the experience was cut down to just 5 days because of a historically warm winter.
Mother Nature did not cooperate last year.
So Experience Maple Grove Executive Director Greg Anzels looked ahead to next year.
There was a lot of factors that went into Maple Grove being a good home for ice castles, and we certainly wanted that to be a multi-year opportunity.
The castles are returning to Minnesota to hopefully brave another winter, but it won't be in Maple Grove. Ice Castles shared a release Monday, saying the castles will be at the Minnesota State Fairgrounds this year. And Anzels says nature is to blame for the move from Maple Grove. Their soil is clay-based and not easy to drain through.
We realized after the event last year that the water just wasn't draining. And when you have an event with 15, 17, 18 million gallons of water, all that water needs somewhere to go. So we just weren't able to accommodate the drainage.
Though it didn't work out this year, Anzels says this isn't the last large event the city will throw.
Experience Maple Grove, along with the city of Maple Grove, demonstrate our ability to attract and put on an event the size and magnitude of ice castles. So we were really proud of what we were able to accomplish.
The spot was just a victim of Mother Nature. Though the castles will be in Falcon Heights, Maple Grove is still planning to light up its main street and have its skating loop open for winter festivities this season. Unlike last year, when extremely hot weather forced the cancellation of the Twin Cities Marathon, this year's race on Sunday went on without a hitch. And this year, two cities battled it out for local bragging rights. The Twin Cities Marathon included more than 300 runners in the CCX News coverage area. And listen to this, the cities of Plymouth and Maple Grove tied for marathon finishers, exactly 110 runners apiece. Golden Valley had the next highest total with 34, and every city in our area had runners finish. That includes 63-year-old Thomas Perry of Maple Grove, who completed his 711th marathon this weekend, and more than 200 completed since his stage 4 prostate cancer diagnosis 5 years ago. More than 6,700 runners crossed the finish line this weekend with an average time of 4 hours, 20 minutes, and 35 seconds. Congratulations to all the runners.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Heading into Week 6, the Totino Grace football team was still unbeaten and ranked 2nd in the state in Class 4A. The Eagles were at home, hoping to advance to 6-0. Chaz Moots has their highlights.
Totino Grace has won by an average of 20 points this year, hosting a 3-2 Minneapolis North team. Pick up things midway through the first quarter, tied at 7. Markel Keaton gets the go-ahead score on an 18-yard run. Keaton had 11 carries for 221 yards. Eagles up 14-7. The Polars had some explosive plays throughout the game. Logan Lockermeyer, pretty ball to the corner of the end zone. Jeremiah Jackson comes down with it. North ties the game back up at 14-all. After a long run from Keaton, Eagles in the red zone again. Michael Strong gets the carry and barrels his way across the goal line for the score. TG back in front. Then right before half, Eagles get the ball back. They stay aggressive offensively. Jake Person lets it rip down the middle of the field. Josiah Young, great catch in the back of the end zone. Big play puts the Eagles up 28-7 at the half. There was only one score in the second half, an 11-yard touchdown run from Calvin McIntosh. Totino Grace stays unbeaten, knocking off the Polars 34-14. In Fridley, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
The Cooper football team is quietly putting together a strong season. The Hawks look to improve to 5-1 as they face Bloomington Jefferson. Jay Wilcox has highlights.
Cooper at home to face Bloomington Jefferson in Game 6 of the regular season in football. Scoreless in the second, and Cooper gets creative. The reverse to receiver DeLon Gurley, and he throws downfield to Christian Lloyd for the touchdown. Cooper leads 6-0 at halftime on a night where their new Hall of Fame class was honored. Cooper's defense plays well. Jefferson quarterback Maxwell Erb is sacked by Ray Highland and big Jeremiah Hoskins as the Hawks keep the Jaguars off the scoreboard. Fourth quarter, and the toss to Randy Smith, and the blocking is solid as he gets to the edge and finds the end zone. That makes it 13-0 Cooper. They add an insurance score later as Emmanuel Carmo from the Wildcats scores the short TD. Cooper is now 5-1 after a 19-0 win over Jefferson. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Providence Academy football's only loss in the first 5 weeks was to the top-ranked team in Class 4A, Becker. Friday night, the 4th-ranked Lions played host to number 3 and unbeaten Orono. Providence in its final home game of the regular season looking to improve to 5-1. First quarter, the Spartans face a 4th and 1 from the Lions 40, and Charlie Cordes throws deep to Parker Burkhart, who takes it down to the Providence 5-yard line. That sets up a 1-yard touchdown run for Rory Cavern, his 11th rushing TD of the season, and Orono leads 6-0. Late second quarter, Providence quarterback Magnus Hansen goes up the middle and scores on a 1-yard touchdown run. The Lions add the extra point to lead 7-6. Providence defensive lineman Abu Tarawali gets to quarterback Cordes for one of his 2 sacks in the game.
The Lions take a 7-6 lead into halftime. But Orono comes out of the locker room with an impressive first drive, capped off by this Frankie Stevenson touchdown run. Orono adds a 2-point conversion to lead 14-7. Later in the third, Cordes rolls out and finds Burkhart for an 8-yard touchdown. Orono goes on to win 24-13 to improve to 6-0 in the season. Providence is now 4-2. In Plymouth, John Jacobson, CCX Sports. CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.